Well, good afternoon, everybody. Doug Jenkins live from the Findlay Hancock County Chamber of Commerce, joined by Kadie Wood of Kadie Renee Photography. And happy to have you along with you today. Kadie, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit of brand new member here at the Chamber of Commerce. As we meet our new members, I always like to introduce people here live on social media. Kadie, let's talk about how you got started in photography. What drew you into the industry?
Yeah, so I've been doing photography part-time for about a decade now. And I've recently went into a full-time capacity and started my own business full-time here in Findlay. And I recently just moved here and married my husband. So yay. Um,
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm really excited to serve the people. I think a lot of inspiration comes from um, the ability to create beautiful moments for people. I love the world we live in. I love the diversity around us. And it's my privilege to capture it in any way possible. So I think a lot of passion comes from that.
Absolutely. So when we talk about the types of things that you like to be involved in photography, are we talking weddings? Are we talking corporate gigs? What are your specialties?
So I do a little bit of everything. I specialize in portraits and weddings. So if you're getting married, weddings, and a lot of people ask me, "What's portraits mean?" It's pretty vast in what that term actually implies. But a lot of headshots, senior pics for upcoming seniors in high school. I do engagement shoots. I also do events. And I also love volunteering for events too, to just get connected to the community. So I do a little bit of everything, but really portrait and wedding are my two big focuses.
You mentioned senior pictures. That's a big thing happening right now as we roll towards the new school year. What are the trends when it comes to senior pictures? I think it's a little bit different back than when I was a senior in high school.
Yeah, I think a lot of times the senior and the mom or dad wants to like just highlight their kid, right? They just want their senior to be kind of recognized and celebrated. So a lot of times what I do is just try to get them to feel comfortable, but wear something that they really feel empowered in. And let them know that these pictures are going to represent your success as a student, and the beautiful moment that we're creating is the educational moment. Actually, I was a public school educator for 15 years, so I think senior pics kind of have a little special place in my heart because I'm very pro education. So I'm always very happy to highlight students whenever I can.
We're not doing the suit and tie for guys anymore with the senior. I don't know that. I don't remember the last time I've seen that as a senior picture.
No, the formal looks are just kind of going away in general. I think we could tell that we could see this in our culture a lot, right? But especially with photo shoots, it's a lot more casual, and
Mhm.
really the trend's really going toward more unique in style, so a little more edgy pop culture. So this is why I really recommend, if especially for senior pics, that the senior wears something that they would wear to a friend's house, but also wear something they're proud to be seen
Mhm.
in. Because sometimes you wear your pajamas to your friend's house or whatever. Maybe that's not something you want in your pictures, but something that you would be like, hey, this represents who I am. And this is something that I want the world to see me in. Because at the end of the day, it really is about that senior. And so something appropriate, but also something that represents their uniqueness as a person.
Very good. Now let's talk about the other end of the spectrum, that being weddings. I used to DJ wedding receptions
Oh,
back in the
wow.
day. Yeah, I don't miss doing that. That's takes a special talent, and not one that I would care to
You got to keep
revisit.
the party rolling. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of photography, I feel like there's a lot of tradition that still goes into it, but there's a lot of, like you said, uniqueness now going into it. What are some of the trends you see there?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think a lot of times you have to roll with it, right? Because culture changes and you kind of have to, kind of give the pictures the bride and groom want, not the one that you expect them to get. And I've learned that early on in my career is that the pictures I want, but I'm not the client. So I have to get what they want. And so I've gotten really good at that. I've had all kinds of different weddings, and I've done cross cultural weddings. I've done LGBTQ weddings. I've done everything. But I think today the cultural mindset is, I see kind of a break away from the big traditional weddings, the church and the big
Mhm.
gown and the candles. They're still there, but I see more or less people just want something with that reflects more of an intimate setting, and something a little less pomp and circumstance.
Hmm.
So, and I like it because more and more my clients are asking for candid pictures. Can you give us candid pictures? We really just want candid pictures. And I think that's more of the trend now. I do a lot of posing, but The posing now is more of like, let's pose as if you're laughing, or let's pose, so it's a lot more of the, we want to look like you caught us in the moment. So I see a lot of people wanting that. And so I try to specialize in that because I think people want to reflect the fun and excitement they had that day. So
One last question for you as we continue with meeting our new members. So it's important, probably even more so important, to have a professional touch. We all have our iPhone. Mine has my wallet on it. I'll probably put that down before I give away any sensitive information. We all have our phones. We're all taking pictures, just, hundreds of pictures compared to what we used to take back in the day. But then they all sort of seem the same. So if you bring a professional into the mix, I imagine that's when you get that uniqueness that you're really looking for.
yeah, that's a great question. And a lot of people ask me that because, why can't I just have Uncle Joe take his iPhone? The answer is you could.
Never have Uncle Joe take with his iPhone. Never.
I actually had that exact question asked to me, so that wasn't made up. Why should I hire you? Well, here's my answer. First off, Uncle Joe's going to be doing other things, and Uncle Joe's going to drink, and Uncle Joe's going to talk to Aunt Betty, and he's not going to care as much. I'm only there just for the bride and groom and the events. That's the only reason I'm there. Number two is I've got an artistic eye, so I'm going to capture those unique pictures that you were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you got that. I've had a lot of clients tell me, I can't believe you captured that, because they weren't looking for it, right? I was. Number three is I always keep my equipment up to date and up to standards. So you're going to get the best equipment, the best technology in the photography industry. And then and on the last part of it, I do a large part of my job is the editing skills after the shoot is done. And I use various software to do that. And once again, that's a skill set, and you have to have access to those software. So you get a lot of different layers when you hire somebody professional that you don't think of in the moment. And if you do go with Uncle Joe, you may not know you've missed out, but if he's a professional, you go, boy, I'm sure glad I did. Because there's all these different layers that you get that you don't think about. So
you don't want Uncle Joe's interpretation of your wedding. Here's the Ohio State game you made me miss.
It's a shot in the dark with Uncle Joe. So,
Kadie, this has been a lot of great information. If people are learning more about your photography, or maybe hiring you for an event or learning more, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, they can email me at Kadie, Kadie, at Kadie Renee Photography, or they can go to KadieReneePhotography.com. So, and I'd love to have them or reach out just to connect. And I love to network. So anything and everything, I'm open to just about anything. So.
Excellent. Well, Kadie, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Thank you for being a Chamber of Commerce member. We look forward to working with you.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Absolutely. That'll do it for us today. We'll be back with you live tomorrow. We've got a ribbon cutting coming up, and then more meet our new members a little bit later in the week. So make sure you subscribe to us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. That way you never miss what's happening in the Findlay and Hancock County business community. For Kadie, I'm Doug. Have a great afternoon, everybody.